Thank you for tuning in. I am joined by Dr. Anthony Harper. He is a White House journalist, and he's come to talk to us about his experiences at the White House. Sir, thank you so much for sticking around.
It's great to join you.
Okay. Well, first, tell me a little bit about yourself and your work.
Okay. Well, those from this area, I'm Idaho State University alumni. So I was a music major at Idaho State, and some quite intense experiences at the White House. Had no idea to be a journalist, so no desire. As a music major, I'm naturally a musician, so so this falls on my lap, a special calling to be there to report truth. And this is a very challenging time for America, isn't it?
When did you realize that you wanted to pursue the career of a reporter?
About 20 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm the editor of a newspaper, Intermountain Christian News, and I've been doing that for about 20 years. And I've had a radio program in it. But all this kind of relates to all those performing experiences that I've had. So the earlier days, with performing in concerts and doing all that stuff has really been helpful on the stage at the White House, actually. Because we've heard the phrase, all the world's a stage and we're players, from Shakespeare, I believe. But yes, the White House is the world stage. So it's been quite the intense experience with three presidents, with President Obama's and his staff, and of course being my first international trip into Israel with President Obama, being part of the White House press corps. That was a very unique experience, and being in Ramallah, the Palestinian headquarters.
So what has brought you back to this area, considering the work that you do and staying as busy as you are?
Well, I have some wonderful friends in the Pocatello area, and wonderful supporters, and throughout Idaho. Actually, it's been a great experience. I actually have some potato humor at the White House, so it's not all serious. It's great to have a sense of humor.
Could you humor us with one of your potato humors?
Well, for those that haven't heard about the potato mascot for the Potato Commission, it's Spuddy Buddy. So this is my favorite joke that I made up. It's about his girlfriend, Sweet Potato, and they're on the couch one day, and they're flirting with each other, and he looks into her face and he says, "My eyes are all over you, and you're my favorite couch potato. You want to party?" And she says, "Oh, my eyes are over you too as well, and yes, let's go for it." And no, they fall in love and get married and have tater tots.
I see.
Because there's so much tension there, they need a little bit of relief here. But the matter is of the tater tots were having panic attacks and afraid to cross the road one day. And with all those that don't know why, it was because there was a fork in the road. Okay.
In regards to tension, I understand that you covered the last three administrations.
Correct.
Okay. Over that time, what was it like when you were put into maybe stressful situations, or were covering stories that were related to a national level, relating to everybody?
Well, it was a very tension-filled place. Although, what's so unique during the President Obama administration is that he would actually come into the White House press room more than any of the current presidents. President Trump would come in there, but not as often as
Obama.
As Obama, I think.
Got it.
But it was very unique experiences, and it was a little nerve-wracking at times. Learning the ropes, so to speak. And during President Obama's time, I didn't know how easy it was to access the upper press to his press secretary's office. So just learning that, yes, I can easily just walk up there and engage with them. I wish I would have learned that then, because I would have been up there in the upper press with his press secretary more often. Well, what is alarming, though, with this current administration, I can't get the press secretary to meet with me, rarely, and get a picture with me or any video with me. But President Obama's press secretary did a picture with me, and he called upon me in press meetings, as well as President Trump's press secretaries. But this administration press secretary refuses to have that picture or video with me.
So you believe that there's not you believe that there's not as much fluidity compared to previous encounters?
There's not as much transparency with this administration. Their refusal to have a picture with me is alarming. So, and refusal to call upon me in press meetings.
Have you had a hard time trying to access information or want to talk or set up an interview for a story through the press
Very
secretary?
difficult. I can't get the press secretary to meet with me, to go on record. It's very disturbing about what is happening. Now, this is really concerned about freedom of the press and transparency, and so there shouldn't be anything to be afraid of, and there's got to be that availability.
I want to shift over to current events that may be happening.
Right.
A lot of stuff is happening in Afghanistan that just has the world in awe.
Yeah.
From your perspective and what you've been able to cover, what has it been like at the White House to cover these types of current events and try to tell a story in the best way that you possibly can?
Well, it is very troubling what's going on in Afghanistan. So much pain and suffering, and I know personally the Afghanistan woman journalist at the White House, and observing how she's being treated. But I needed to get her story at the White House, so I recorded that a very emotional story that people can look on our YouTube channel to watch that. And then I was with her in a press meeting, the James Brady press meeting, when she got called on at the press secretary, and that tension between her and the press secretary. I was standing right next to her, and so I'm defending her the way she's being mistreated by some media and some others. It is a very emotional story, and she's been criticized by the White House journalists of being too emotional. I mean,
why is that?
Maybe they fail to have a sensitivity issue. If you were a journalist, if you were from that country and going through all this pain and torture, wouldn't there be some emotion? I mean, just because you have emotions doesn't make you less credible of a journalist. So I'm upset that there'd be some journalists that be critical of her in this situation. They should be sensitive to understand where she and the people from Afghanistan are coming from. So,
from what I've learned and what I understand right now, the basis of the foundation for trying to tell or wanting to tell the truth, be a reporter, get that transparency, and to be unbiased. For you, where do you believe that divide ends and stops to the point where you feel like you need to, or you believe that you need to cross that boundary to set the record straight?
Well, it is important to, as a news reporter, to be factual, and that is the basis, should be a basis of all truth reporting. In this matter, the facts are, this is a very emotional issue for a lot of people. There's been a great loss of life, and one can't dismiss or ignore that issue. That's not being in touch with reality. So journalists have to understand the emotions, and I'm there to be able to report the truth there in light of all that's going on, and it is quite the experience in the observations of this. But it was a very special time for me to be there, not only with this Afghanistan issue, but the Israel Prime Minister being there this last week when I was there.
Transitioning back to the White House.
Right.
From your experience over the last 10 years, what did you take away from covering each administration over that time?
Okay.
What was different from each administration, from Obama to Trump to Biden, and perhaps what do you think of the current administration now?
Okay. Well, during President Obama's time, the initial days seemed to be going fairly well. He had done meetings in churches or whatever, and trying to get a lot of church vote. He did get a lot of church voters, but then things changed in opposition to a lot of the church voters' values or whatever, and it was kind of a contrast there, and of course with President Trump, very you might say very entertaining, a lot of tension, but a lot of special entertainment factor. I mean, it was a very unique time being there. You never knew what President Trump was going to do, and for the media, you saw a lot more entertaining interchanges. But with this current administration, you don't see that. I mean, with the current administration, with President Biden, you don't see that energy level engaging with the press as President Trump was. These really intense encounters that I'm having at the White House, the engagement, the observations that I've made in dealing with human rights issues, and the different human rights issues besides Afghanistan have been the issues of anti-Semitism. Especially, I was introduced to the Israel Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, in the Knesset during a journalist meeting. And that was a very unique experience. So it's going to be a great time. Looking forward to meeting people and to encourage other students that might be a little confused about where to go for their future.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
It's a blessing to be here, Pocatello, and greater things to come. Looking forward to be back to the White House.
Okay. Dr. Harper, thank you for joining us at KPVI.
You're
Appreciate
welcome. It's great to join you.
All right.
Thank you.